You are now tuned into the Power of the P presenting Love and Hip Hop.
After the show, it's the after party then. After the show, it's the after party then.
How could it be? Little me had the power to be the. How could it be? Little me had the power to be the. How could it be? Little me had the power to be the best beat in the league, yeah, inevitably. But could it be? Little me, you was heckling me. Now it's monotony when it regularly.
Now listen to the Power of the P.
Welcome to the Power of the P presents Love and Hip Hop, the after party. This is where the live conversation happens after the show. Week to week, you can tune into the Power of the P on Blog Talk Radio. We want to hear your thoughts and your opinions of the women of love and hip hop. I am Princess, and joining me is Chris Kazi Roll, founder of Together Apart, amongst many things, balancing our conversation with the male perspective. Kazi, what's good?
What up? Just
what up?
I got a ton of questions, ton of thoughts.
Ton of thoughts?
Yes.
Okay, so luckily...
There's really more questions because I'm still, trying to understand what, which is one of the things I like about the show is just this is all about, you guys kind of putting your voice out there and giving your perspective that's really not heard. So, but I have questions to try to understand.
So, what did you think about tonight, Kazi, in terms of the show? Like, did you...
It was pretty interesting because the girl Samaya, who she seems very sensual, very sexual, and very sexy, had an issue with being sensual, sexual, and sexy. And I just didn't really, it was like confusing, because, I don't know if you saw that Dave Chappelle's stand-up where he talked about that, like, you wear a particular uniform or a particular attire, and then, when people treat you or the way that you present yourself, then you're mad that people are treating you that way. I don't know if it's just a guy perspective, but I just totally thought she just was screaming sex, but then when people was like, all right, be sexy, she wasn't down with it, so.
Okay, good. So tonight we actually have Emily from Love and Hip Hop joining us tonight. So I want to give her some round of applause. Emily, how are you? Hello, Emily. I'm here. What's up? The Power of the P. It was great seeing you tonight. So let's hop right into it. So tonight, because we lost like about 5 minutes. I was like, we got to hop right into it. So, okay, so you spoke with Darrell about Olivia and, the fact that I guess she may have, evaded to the fact that she...
Embellished
a little bit, that she was currently still dating him. And, you asked him, and he pretty much was like, I don't know where she's getting this boyfriend, girlfriend stuff from. Like, do you feel in any kind of way that, like, you feel like, I guess, honestly, she kind of lied to you? Like, does that...
I don't, you know what, I just met her, and the first thing that really, I was introduced to her, and it was as Darrell's girlfriend, basically. And that's what she talked about, that she was Darrell's girlfriend and she was dating him. And I didn't know if it was true or not. It really wasn't none of my business, but I just happened to be shooting with Darrell, and he was my client, and he was going to be on the show. So it put me in an awkward position because do you not tell your client that you're shooting a reality show with their girlfriend? Like, and that's how it came up. So it put me in an awkward position, and that's why I asked. I mean, I really don't know at the end of the day. That was between the two of them, and it really wasn't any of my business, but it just put me in an awkward position because I was shooting a reality show, and Darrell was my client, and I was shooting a reality show with Olivia, who was supposed to be his girlfriend
at the time.
So, like, what do you do? Like, what do you say? Do you say something? Or do you just go to your client and act like you're not shooting a reality show with their girlfriend? Like,
okay.
I didn't know what to do, so...
did she kind of say, like, did you guys have a conversation about it after the fact?
I guess you'll see how it plays out. I didn't know her. I knew my client for years, and I didn't really, I'm just meeting Olivia, so it was one of those things where I was getting to know her, and I was in an awkward position because I didn't know whether what she was telling me was the truth. And, even to my producers were telling me that she was Darrell Reeves' girlfriend. Okay. And it was just, he did the show, as my client and not Olivia's boyfriend. So
Gotcha. Can I ask a quick question?
This is live?
Yes, it is. You are live.
No, let me ask a quick question. You're fine. Like, you're real fine. Like, I didn't really get to see, like, the full picture on the last show. I was like, oh, she's pretty. But when I look at the total, like, you're really bad. So do you find that clients try to holler when they beat you and stuff?
Well, no. If I'm ever put into a situation like that where I feel it's inappropriate, I wouldn't work with them. If I'll ever feel uncomfortable, or that's not worth it to me. I take my job seriously, and that's why it was so awkward for me to even have that conversation with Darrell, because I always want to keep her professional. Me and him are cool, but we ain't that cool. And that was the whole why I felt uncomfortable. And and that is a stereotype, because you're pretty or you have like that. Just because I'm pretty, that doesn't mean I'm a good stylist or something. This is my job and this is my passion. And if I ever felt uncomfortable, I wouldn't do the job. I'd be on to the next job. I wouldn't put myself in that situation.
So let's talk about Emily a little bit.
Okay.
So you're a stylist. And I think, everybody now, you mentioned that you've been doing this for a little while now, about 5 years. Is that correct?
Well, I've been doing it. I've been a celebrity stylist for 5 years now. But I've always been into doing, into fashion since I was a young girl. I've been actually doing wardrobe styling since I was 19 years old. I started off doing, regular everyday girls. I did models, runway, print shoots, photo shoots, all types of things. But it just wasn't, I wasn't a celebrity stylist. I became a celebrity stylist about 5 years ago.
Okay. So now your life is being portrayed in, the public's eye. How does that make you feel? Because I'm pretty sure you're starting to receive a lot of commentary from fans, from
oh my God,
people, I think it takes incredible strength to say your story in the public, period. Kazi and I both were a part of a movie, so we know, it takes strength. So, how has that now affected your life? How, your day-to-day and what you're,
Well, I mean, we're only the second episode in, so really my everyday isn't really affected. Of course, the comments, sometimes they could be hurtful, and sometimes the comments are very empowering, and, women reach out to me and keep me strong. And going in, I didn't realize that it would be so personal. Of course, it's a reality show, but I really didn't know that I had so many issues going in, and that was the hardest part, to have to talk about that on camera. But my life really hasn't.
Hold on. Speak on that a little bit. When you say I didn't realize I had so many issues.
I was okay. I was working. I'm a mom. I take care of my kids. I live my life, and I had no idea that what was going on in my life bothered other people. People didn't understand my situation, and I'm like, there's nothing for you to understand. This is my life, and this is my personal life. But when you're doing a reality show, it's a totally different thing. You have to you have to talk about it, and I never had to talk about it before. So for me to have to talk about Fab or talk about my kids and in front of a camera, it was just totally a total therapy for me, because I had no idea that it was going to be that deep.
Okay. Well, what is the biggest issue that you've heard people kind of bring up to you that they were uneasy with?
The biggest issue about watching me on that show?
Yeah. That you've heard.
Saying, Fab doesn't claim you. Or, oh, why are you on the show saying that Fab is your man and he doesn't claim you? And that was the hardest part, having to deal with that every day. Even with this episode today, there's oh, how can you say anything about Olivia when Fab, you're in the same situation, but it's really not the same situation. So you got to just keep tuning in, it's 6 more episodes. This is the beginning.
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely. And you know what? We're gonna open up a little bit to callers to see if they have something to ask you. And let's go. Let's go right to the people. The power of the P who's speaking. The power of the P who's speaking. Okay, let's go. The power of the P who's speaking. Hello? Okay.
I have a question for Emily.
Okay. What's your name? I'm like, what's your name?
Sam the Discount Man.
Sam
Listen, I have a question.
Hi.
How are you?
Sam the Discount Man.
Is Lanice on the line?
Excuse me?
Is Lanice Eversley on the line?
No, she's not on the line right now.
All right,
Sam,
tell her I said she's fired. This is Sam from Ruxpin. She's fired.
Okay. Do you have a question for Emily?
I have a question. Emily, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you find it hard, or, I mean, how do you juggle being a mom and being a stylist to the celebrities? How do you juggle that?
I think the best part about being a stylist is that the schedule isn't so demanding. You kind of make your own schedule. It's not an everyday 9-to-5 thing. So that's the best part. I get to be with my kids all the time. I wake up to my kids and I go to bed with my, you know what I mean? That's the best part of being a stylist. Is my job first is being a mother, and I have a 13-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. So that's the best part of it. I get to be there every day with them, and I basically make my own schedule. So that's how I juggle it.
Okay. All right. So let's go. The power of the P. I think this is Lady L.
Lady L.
Yeah.
Hi.
She's part of the power of the P movement.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? That apparently I just got fired from Ruxpin.
Okay.
That's what I heard from Sam. But how are you, Emily?
I'm good.
Good. I'm enjoying the show. I really am. I think it's, you guys are very brave to put it all out there. You really are. So
it's not. It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy.
I can imagine. But I want to know, just mom to mom, what is the legacy you want to leave your children? What do you want your children to learn from you?
Well, the hardest part of doing the show was having to, play my life out in front of the cameras and knowing that my daughter would watch. I have a teenage daughter, and I never want her, I want her to look up to me, and I want her to know that, certain things that I went through, I want better for her. And that was the hardest part. And that's why when those cameras were asking me, when I had to answer those questions in front of the cameras, that's really what had me upset, because thinking about my children and thinking about my family, and I always wanted, I want structure and stability for my kids, and I hope that they have that, and I feel that they do, and I feel that I've protected them, and that's really what I want for my children, and that's why I went on this show saying that I would fight for my family, because my kids aren't affected, my kids aren't in the limelight. My kids have, for the almost 9 years that I've been with Fab, my kids have been kept private and live a normal life, and they're not affected by any of that stuff. So this is the hardest part, knowing that maybe she might watch, or maybe that her friends will see that. So that's really the hardest part for me. But I just want them to have normal lives, and I hope that this doesn't change much in their lives, me doing this reality show. Because it's difficult. Just when I think about it, it's not easy.
So can we look forward to you seeing you on season 2? Are you willing to go this next round again?
I did a lot of growing. You've only seen 2 episodes, so it's like a little. I can't really give much away, but by the end of the season, you'll see my growth, and hopefully, if season 2 does come around, it'll be on a whole nother level. It won't be anything about what I was going through this season. So I would definitely do a season 2, just so you can see where I'm at right now. And it's not in the same space that you saw from episode 1.
Okay.